Hi, Selena. Welcome to our first lecture for week 3. And we are going to start with just going through your portfolio so that I can give you some feedback now that you've sent me the link. So let me switch over and share your view. Okay. Here is your portfolio. Let's make it bigger so we can see it there. There we go. Here's your portfolio. I've kind of gone through this already, but we're going to take it piece by piece. First thing I'm going to look at is this, DS 460 assignment 4. I'm not sure what this is, but it is the same mixture that's used in this DS 460 piece. So I'm a little confused about what this is, which means that you need to do one of two things. You need to either take it out of the portfolio altogether or you need to explain it. As far as what I'm thinking it is this is showing your masking skills. You do have a few issues right here. You have a few issues here with her arm. And through her hair, of course, there's a few places. And then the outside of her hair. And this is where you would want to use your Photoshop masking tools and make it look more natural through there. If you need help or need a reminder on how to do that, let me know and I can put a quick tutorial video together for you. It's pretty easy. Not sure what this is. This needs to be explained or you just need to remove it altogether. And then of course there's this one. Same with this one. I'm not sure what this is. She is definitely a little washed out and she doesn't blend well at the bottom. So I'm not quite sure what this project was supposed to be. So you're going to have to explain that. So this is another one that either you need to do some really good explaining on what's going on here and then touch up your masking, or you need to just remove it altogether. And then we have your week 4 self-promo interactive infographic. But it's just a picture. And you're calling it an interactive infographic. What does this do? You need to explain this and you need to make it interactive. That's something you can do by making it a GIF that shows what it does. And that can be quickly done in Animate or Photoshop or After Effects. Either one of those 3 will do that. I like the design skills you're showing off here. I love the ice cream cone. It looks awesome. There's nothing I wouldn't change about that. But if it's going to be a self-promo interactive infographic, then we need to see what it does. And you need to explain it. Even if you take still shots, okay, here's, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and it goes through and shows what this interactive infographic does, that's fine as long as you explain each one of the steps. Excuse me. And then you have your information design 2. This is the first and only thing you have in here that is related to web design. Live stream screens for the desktop and mobile device. I'm glad that you've mocked this up, but these images are severely skewed. And that's definitely not a mistake you want to make in your portfolio, because that reflects on your design skills. You need to remove these two pictures and redo them so they're not skewed. And then you show this background. I'm guessing this is some sort of wallpaper type thing when you first log on to the website. No idea what this is supposed to represent, because again, these are really, really skewed. And then there's this. I'm not sure what these icons are supposed to represent. I noticed from your resume you had a UX designer position pulled up, but you're not showing off your UX design skills in this portfolio. That's something you're going to have to change, especially if that's the area in the industry you want to be in. And then you've got some presentation slides here. This looks okay. I'm just not sure what's this is really supposed to be. And you've got some banner ads. These look good. And you've got an audience profile going on here, but this really shouldn't be called an audience profile, because this isn't talking about your target market. This is talking about the message you want the website to deliver. You need to explain this project too. Now, as far as your portfolio goes, this is the only thing you have in here that could even be related to web design. Everything else is graphic design. We need to add some more stuff to your portfolio that is specifically web design related. You took a web design class where you worked in a group to develop a website. It was called Burger Barn or Burger Diner or Downtown Diner or something like that. That is a good thing to show off on your website, on your portfolio. That is a website you actually helped create. You also created an app in one of your classes for a smartphone. That is another thing to show off in your portfolio. And you can do that by recreating it in Illustrator or Photoshop. I would prefer you recreate it in XD, so that you can just paste the embedded code into Behance and it pulls it up and gives them a live way to show it. I guess on Thursday I'll do a tutorial for XD so you can watch that. But we need to get some more stuff into your portfolio that is web related. I would really, really like to meet with you so that we can talk about some of your past classes and see if we can't find a few things from those classes we can put into this portfolio and how you need to set it up. Let's take a look at your Fit Fun Food. I'm guessing this is a logo. This image, once again, very skewed. This image, here, very skewed. Stretch that out. On your Facebook page, I can't really, it looks okay. You need to just twist your picture around so that it's in here the right way. Just having it in there doesn't mean, wow, that looks cool. Users need to be able to understand what they're looking at and not have to turn their heads and things like that. I love the logo design. This is a great, fun, creative idea. I like that idea. So let's set this up to really be a centerpiece in this portfolio for your graphic design skills. You need to go back, use this as your first picture. That's fine. List the font you used. List the colors. Make a orange square. Make a green square. Looks like you have two different color greens. If they're the same, that's fine. If they're two different color greens, do two different colors green squares and list their CMYK numbers underneath them, because that's your color scheme. And then you have it with the tagline. So maybe do a notation above this that says, you know, with tagline. And then have a notation that says promotional products. And that's where you're going to show off your shirt and your coffee cup and your sports cup. You need to redo definitely the first picture. That is skewed. It should not look like this. It needs to look real, and this does not look real. Your coffee cup doesn't look too bad, although the bottom of it is not rounded the way it's supposed to be. I would find another mock-up for the coffee cup and actually use it the way it's supposed to be. The fun food is that looks pretty good. So it looks like maybe you added your tagline at the end and then go into the smart layer and place it in there so that it had the nice curve it was supposed to have on it. Your sports bottle. This image looks skewed to me as well. So this definitely needs to be redone too. And then you need to label this. I'm not sure what this is. Is it some sort of poster or memo, or I'm not sure what this is, but this picture needs to be fixed. It shouldn't be skewed like this. You don't have to show the whole picture in your design. You can make this the right size and only show part of it. That still tells you that, you know, this is a box full of food and vegetables and fruits and that sort of thing. And it not look skewed. That's a mistake you do not want to show in your portfolio ever, because you are claiming to be a web developer with graphic design skills and looking at jobs for UX designers. Showing skewed photos in your portfolio is not a good idea. So that's a very amateur mistake. I'm sure your instructor pointed these things out when they graded, and they need to be fixed. I like the Facebook page. It just needs to be flipped around so that we're looking at it at the right direction. And then we have the chill out. It gives me, you've got your creative brief in here. It's not too bad. I'd like to see you redo this creative brief so that it's a little more creative. Right now, this is just a Word document. I can look at it and tell that. And you're a professional. We don't do a creative brief in a Word document. And we definitely don't put that in our portfolio. Like the logo here, the one suggestion I do have on the logo is the black sunglasses are extremely distracting in this logo. So one of two things could help here. A, you use a brighter shade for the hair so that it so the black mixes with that and it's not so distracting. Right now, those sunglasses are the visual of this logo. And that's not, you want them to see the whole thing, not just this one aspect. I would also suggest that and this is supposed to be the glare on the sunglasses, and I get that, but it'll look better if you fill that in and then set it to an overlay, and it will blend in with the sunglasses and give them that real feel. Again, with your mock-ups, you need to find another t-shirt mock-up and make sure you're using the smart layer to put your design in there, and take that white background off your logo and get rid of it so it can blend in with the t-shirt. Same with the coffee cup. You need to use the mock-up the correct way, which means going into the smart layer where it says put your artwork here. Double click on that layer on the little icon that's on the thumbnail in Photoshop, and it opens up a new tab. Put your artwork in there, get rid of the background, the white background, save it, close that tab, and go back to the original tab, and you'll see your artwork in there, and it'll look real life, like it was really made onto that coffee cup or that t-shirt. Excuse me. I'm assuming this is kind of like a business card mock-up, but again, you didn't use the smart layer because you can see your design sticking off the top up here. And you need to get rid of that white background. I'm guessing this is some sort of postcard or something like that. Mock that up. 50th anniversary. Ah, it's some sort of invitation. You can find mock-ups for those. Mock that up so it looks real world. Your first paragraph here, you need to reword this and remove some things, but this should be at the top of your portfolio here, because this is telling them what you've done. It should be up here instead of having this creative brief here. Oops. There we are. But you need to remove, to start off, the original design and layout I chose for my Chill Out campaign were designs I felt comfortable with. I want something that played off of the business colors and tried to incorporate that to my best of my ability. Take that out to the best of your ability. Just simply say, I wanted something that played off the business colors, or say something like I incorporated the business colors into the branding for this company or this campaign. And you take, I would just remove the rest of it. You don't need all of that. But you definitely don't want to say something like, I personally felt as though I didn't spend enough time brainstorming and just went with the first thing that came to mind. You don't want a potential employer or customer to read that. That's not information you want them to know. So don't put it on your portfolio because they're reading it. I would take everything out except for this first paragraph and rewrite this first paragraph and put it at the very top in the place of your creative brief. And then you need to work on improving this logo a little bit. And you could do that by simply making this a lighter shade of gray so that it blends in more with your pastel colors. Or make the sunglasses blue instead of black, or this purplish pink color instead of black, or a pastel pink or a pastel blue, so that everything kind of goes together and there's not one center piece that is standing out and the first thing you look at that doesn't really have much to do with Chill Out. This is a logo. It's an overall thing. It shouldn't be just one piece that draws your attention while everything else gets lost. And then, like I said, you need a lot more web design stuff in here. And these first two, I would just remove. The other ones just need some work, and you need to get a more creative layout, which is what we're going to talk about right now. You want your portfolio, all of your projects, to be showcased like a story. This was a web design. You can see they used a mock-up, and you can get a mock-up that looks just like this for free online and just put your designs in it. And they talk about what that piece is. And they have a little, all that is a GIF that they did to kind of show some interaction of what happens when you first get to that website. This is kind of like a UX setup. This is very strong UX-wise. They show their color scheme, but you can see they designed this whole thing, and it tells a story. Shows what they've used. They used free fonts. They used extra shapes. They used Bootstrap Grid. They used sketch files. And then it goes on to show you more of the website and different aspects. And while I realize what the website you've built may not be this extensive, you still have a lot of this information and it can be used. But your portfolio should be designed. It's not just a place where you slap a picture. You need to design that display before you stick it in here so it tells a story. There's a few other ones that I want to show you. The app that I was talking about that you designed in one of your classes for a cell phone. This is a good way to showcase those apps. You can see how big they made their text. And they put it on a board. They probably did this in Photoshop. Put it on a background. There's the logo for the company. They stuck it up there. Gave the name. Hotel Management Mobile Application for Remote Control of a Hotel. They showed the logon screen. They showed the fonts they used, the color scheme. They showed the different pages of the calendars and the booking and what those pages would look like. The pages are, again, just in a bigger mock-up. And they showed the tasks and things you can do with that program. And then again, just in a different mock-up. And then the end. You see how that just tells a story, and it walks you through the entire design that they did, and it kind of shows their process. That's what you need to do with your portfolio. Now this one is all about branding, UI, UX, and web design. This was a whole campaign they did. This is kind of a poster type opening picture. Well, that looks really cool. And then it tells you some information about what they did. It gives you the situation, brief, telling you what this is about. And then it tells you the solution they came up with. And they listed what they actually did for this campaign. And then they go on to show it to you. Well, there's the logo. And they go through and show you just different pictures and things that they're going to be using on the website. This is a website. Here's their website mock-up. And you can see different pages in their website. Here are the icons they created. And you can see what the mobile version of their website looks like. You can see there they've used one of the icons they created. And they're showing the promotional products that could also go with this campaign. And the numbers they created, which they show you will be displayed on the cabins. It tells a story, and that's what you need to do with your portfolio. Right now, your portfolio is not telling a story. There's just these images there. And while I could guess on what a whole lot of them are, except for those two, I have no idea what those were. The other ones I could guess on what they were because I'm a professional. Your customers and your potential employers, they're going to be able, your potential employers are going to be able to guess because they're in the industry, but they're going to be very upset if they look at that and you're applying for a UX design position, you're not even going to get called into an interview. Because the user experience on your portfolio right now is not very good. You need to tell a story with each of your products. And that means through images and through text. You have to be able to explain the situation, what the project is about, and how you reached your solution. And you either explain that through text or you explain it through the images that you use. That requires more than one. And you have a lot of images on most of your projects, but they're just picture after picture after picture after picture, and they're not really telling a story. And that's something you need to fix. They don't look cohesive. It's just one picture after the next. Whereas you can see in these examples, this just kind of flows together and you understand what's going on, and these are icons they've used, and then you have the mobile layout going on, and then the promotional products. There's not any text needed because they've created this and set it up in a way that it just kind of flows from one piece to the next. They show some more icons, and they show you how those icons are used. This is what you need to do with your portfolio. And yes, it requires time. It requires some dedication. But you need to remember that your portfolio is going to be the difference between you being hired and you not being hired. Your portfolio is everything to get you a job. It's the number one most important thing you can have when you go and apply for that job. You are applying for a creative design position. That requires more than a resume and a great interview. It requires a great portfolio too, because you have to be able to prove those skills. So this week, actually for week 2, since you just sent me your link and you're just now getting the feedback, you haven't turned in the first part of the assessment for week 2. So what I want you to do is make me a list of the changes you're going to make on your page. and a list of the things that you are going to add. And then I want you to take one of these examples already in your portfolio and make it into a story so it looks like a cohesive campaign, design campaign. You can look at the other examples on Behance. I simply searched for these. I searched UX design, and you can search web design. Maybe you're looking at interactive design. It pulls up some different stuff, and you can go through and look at the interactive layouts and how they're showing that stuff. Take some inspiration from that. For your own portfolio, look at what everyone else is doing, because that's going to be what's expected of you. Looks like this site did it in steps, like I was suggesting. That showed you. Notice over and over and over, we see they show the colors. Every single time they show the colors. Yep, absolutely, because that's what's expected. And those are the things that you are going to have to do in your portfolio. Here, they've done a GIF. You can actually do these kind of GIFs in Photoshop. You can do them in Animate. You can do them in XD. Yes, it takes some extra work, but again, your portfolio is the most important thing you will graduate with. Beyond your degree, your portfolio is the most important thing you have, and it may even be more important than your degree at sometimes, because your portfolio is ultimately going to be what gets you that job. It's ultimately going to be what proves to your employer you have the skills necessary to be hired. That doesn't mean it has to be perfect and overwhelming. I mean, yeah, that's great if you have that kind of work. But what you need to be able to do is what you must do. That's a better way to say it. What you must do is show that you have the promise, that you have a solid understanding of the basic principles of graphic and web design. If you're wanting UX position, you have to show that you have the basic understanding of UX design. That goes with web design, because all of that should be showcasing anything you have on there that's web design. And that means telling a story. And you can see this one, how they've done it. They used a lot more text and a little less pictures. But go through Behance. Look at the examples. Not from just other students, although we do have another student. He just graduated not long ago. I can't remember how to spell Connor's name. Let's see if I can find him, because he did a pretty great job. Spell his last name, but it's close. Let's see if I can find him. I showed his portfolio in one of the lectures. find him real quick. I know I have his name somewhere. Hold on a second. Let me pull his name up. Let's see. There it is. Slugowski. Looking at what he's done, some of his are not perfect, but you can see he is definitely on the right track to tell him a story, explaining what's going on in each one of those. How he's mocked up everything so it looks real world, gives that real life feel. Everything looks better when it's mocked up. And you can see he's done quite a few web design. He put quite a few web design projects in the 4 weeks that he spent with me in this class. Downtown Restaurant is that group project you did in one of your classes. Find that and use it. He did some events and invitations and some web design. Here is a web design project. He found a website that was for a company in his hometown that needed to be redone. The original website just did not look very good. And so he simply redesigned it. He did not write all the code for this website, but he did do his wireframe and his sketching to pull up, to show off his UI and UX skills. He showed his color choices. And then he simply mocked up these web pages. And you can see the transformation that they've taken from where it started to where it ended. And so he made those changes and used XD. That's what this little piece down here, this is an XD file that will allow the users to click on buttons. And as you can see, it takes them to that page. And it had a product page that you could click on, and it takes you to that product page so you can see the layout of it. And then, of course, the Contact Us page. And none of this has been coded. It's simply a prototype, a mock-up of what each page would look like. So if you're interested and you would like me to do a demo on XD, shoot me an email, let me know, and I will do a demo on XD so you can start using it. XD is really easy to learn. I believe this is also one of your classes that you did where you had to create like a ticket purchasing app. So you actually have code for that. And he has a link here that says that you can click on that and see the code that's on GitHub. You can see how he just mocked it up. And it shows the checks box. Again, this is just another XD example. That's all this is. But he tells a little bit of a big story, and he explains at the top of every one of them what it is, so they know what they're looking at and there's no question. He listed his scripting languages. So Downtown Restaurant, I know for sure is class project. I'm pretty sure the Ticket Purchases app was a class project. Then he picked a website and he redid that website and used the mock-up and prototype, not the coding, so don't freak out. It was just the mock-up and a prototype. to show what the website would look like if he redid it. He also, and I believe this was another class as well, where you had to create another app. And this is his This Is Me app. He did a fantastic job on showing this for his portfolio. He's got a nice background going on, creating the app identity, the UI and UX design skills. He showed off his wireframing, his color choice, his style design, and finalizing the design. So you kind of see where it started with that first mock-up, where he went through his design process, made some changes to make it better, and then you can see his code. So this was a class project. So you should have this as well. You just need to mock it up and make a prototype, do a background like he's done with your text on it, make a whole Photoshop file so it tells a story. If you don't have sketches, make them. If you don't have wireframe sketches, make them. You already have the design. Drawing up a sketch won't take you 5 minutes. The sketch isn't about your drawing skills. It's about showing off your UX and design understanding and showing your process. That's what these are about. It's not about the design skills on the page itself. It's just about showing the process, which proves you have an understanding of UI and UX. Color choice, it's UI, UX. And the rest of this is just showing off his UI, UX skills and his graphic design skills. So those are definitely ones you should be able to fix. And using this process on every single piece is a must. You have to explain yourself. You have to explain what the design is and how you reached your solution. And you do that by using a combination of text and images. Does everyone have to be this long? Absolutely not. But the piece should look designed. It should look good. Okay, Selena, well, I've showed you a few examples. And so again, for last week, a list of the changes you're going to make and what you're going to add to it. And then choose one that's already on here and turn it into the type of portfolio piece that it should be. Tell a story with it, like the examples I've shown you. And then for this week, I want you to do the rest of what's already existing on your portfolio. I want you to turn those all into story pieces. And then I want you to start adding the new stuff to your portfolio. You need to add at least 3 more strictly web or app design projects on here. So you have a lot of work cut out for you for the next 2 weeks. So last week, I want a list of what your changes and what you're adding. And then I want you to take one of these existing projects on Behance and I want you to turn it into a true portfolio piece. For this week, I want you to do the remaining pieces that are already in your portfolio and turn them into real portfolio pieces. And then in week 4, you're going to add the remaining 3 web design projects that you have and turn them into true design pieces. So you can go ahead and delete these this week too. If you're not going to use them, delete them. And if you add 3, that will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll give you 7 pieces in your portfolio. And the reality is you need about 12, but starting at 7 is a good place to be. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email and let me know.